That's right, assholes. Take my penis. Take it all! And tell Shrimply Pibbles that when the galaxy came calling, Jerry Smith from Earth didn't flinch.
We have seen sort of a bunch of different Jerrys throughout the different dimensions. And in fact, the Jerry we've seen most recently isn't even the Jerry that we met in season 1. As a voice actor, are you bringing something different to each iteration of Jerry?
I am not. Basically because Jerry's mostly the same, you know, across all dimensions. And when we had the Jerry daycare episode, you know, I asked if they wanted a little bit of a different voice for each different kind of Jerry, and they're like, no, we just want Jerry to sound like he always sounds. There have probably been moments where I brought a little bit of a different something here or there as needed for Jerry, but you know, Jerry in general gets to, you know, play a pretty wide range of emotions, and because of that, you know, it's always a fun sort of acting challenge to do Jerry.
And the potential of the show is sort of limitless. Like, because it's animated and because of the nature of the show, it can basically go anywhere. Is there a specific episode or Jerry plotline that you've been surprised by the most when you've gotten the script?
With Jerry, I'm never very surprised. I mean, I liked it was fun, I guess, to get to see Jerry in the episode where he and Rick go to the planet with the stasis field where nobody can die, and you get to see them bond a little bit, and then you get to see Jerry be a little cunning when he's willing to participate in the assassination of Rick, and then he used to see him walk that back and change his mind that he really doesn't want that. And so that was a fun episode, and so I'm sure reading that I was like, oh, this is nice to see these other sides of Jerry.
So the show has been on for 7 years, but we're only sort of halfway through season 4. Have you noticed how the fan base of the show has changed? And have people recognized you more as Jerry?
They have, for sure. In terms of seeing a change in the fan base, other than it getting larger, I don't know that I have seen a change. I'm kind of oblivious. I'm not on social media, so I don't interact that way. I mean, the only time I really come in contact with fans is at Comic-Con or some, other kind of convention like that.
It's over!
Nothing is over! Nothing! You don't just turn it off! It wasn't my war! You asked me! I didn't ask you! And I did what I had to do to win!
How challenging is it to keep that character's sort of backstory together?
Everything that he's gone through, is going to inform him on some level. Given the different eras they've moved to in Archer's mind, the basic elements of Cyril are always there, with the exception of the time that I was the Nazi crazy guy.
Have you seen any great Cyril cosplay at Comic-Cons?
Yeah, I've seen a few. It's not the #1 character that people want to cosplay as.
Ladies! What? This? No. I was at a costume party earlier this evening, and the hostess's dog attacked me, so I had to stab it.
What was it like sort of playing that role? And, where do you think he would have gone in life? Other than jail, I guess.
Jail would be a pretty likely place, but he always managed to evade that. Dr. Spaceman was a role that, I don't want to say the best written, but certainly one of the best written roles I've ever gotten to play. Anything could come out of his mouth pretty much, and it was just a delight to get to play him, and to say the things that he said and to be that insane and to try to do it in a way that made it sound like it made sense for Leo Spaceman,
Okay, I'm sorry about that. There's a lot of different kinds of breaking news with this story, but this one is for real.
I still watch the show. I mean, I watch every show and quite enjoy it, and I've really enjoyed these SNLs at home. I'm so impressed with how those have come off. But no, one of the nice things about not being on the show is to not have to think about all of that. I remember going back to play Tom Brokaw or Jim Lehrer or somebody for a debate sketch after I was off the show. I wasn't in the cast anymore, but they had me come back and do that. And I remember after the show was over and just sort of being aware that I don't have to go in on Monday and pitch ideas in Lauren's office, and just the sense of relief I found and the sense of closure as oh yeah, I did my time and it's okay to be done with this. And it was fun to come back and do this, but I'm very glad I don't have to keep trying to come up with ideas and bits like that. So it's nice to just watch the show as a fan, you know.
Yo, where's the movie play at the West Side, dude? Well, let's hit up Yahoo Maps to find the dopest route. I prefer MapQuest. That's a good one, too. Google Maps is the best. True that. Double true.
The Lonely Island did a little tour last year, I guess it was last year, and had me come along for some of the dates to do a live version of Lazy Sunday. So I had to definitely refamiliarize myself with it. That was a blast. That was amazing. And the fan response was incredible.
Did you update the song at all, or did you keep it like Yahoo Maps, Google, you know?
The only thing we updated was in the break where the $10 bills, and referring to them as Hamiltons, they wrote in a break where they would sing some sections from Hamilton, the musical, and then I respond to that. And it was pretty great, I think. I mean, I think. The fans seemed to really love it.
Oh, I used to be #1 in this town, but people don't listen to AM like they used to. Seems like it's more about FM and color TV.
That's stupid.
It sure is.
I kind of have some memory of shooting the scenes around the, I guess, the track where they were doing the big jump. That, and getting the script that day for a lot of my dialogue that Akiva and Seth Meyers had added, and given me the little speeches they did about the tattoo on my belly and the AM radio and all that. And so that was a great treat and a delight to get that material from those guys, and then to do it, and then being up on stage with the band was pretty fun. And yeah, I mean, it was very disappointing that it didn't do much out of the gate or at all at the theaters. I don't know if it was marketing or what it was, but it's been certainly gratifying and rewarding to see how it's gotten this cult following, as you put it, over the years, as it should have. I mean, it's an awesome little movie.
I've been scorned and slandered and ridiculed too. Had to struggle every day my whole life through. Seen my share of the worst.
There was so much emphasis put on me and Matt Besser and Tim Meadows learning the songs to play them on our respective instruments, because we wanted it to look believable and real. So we actually, learned all the songs. It was fun. It was really a blast. I remember it was one of the final numbers of the movie, being up on stage when we're all old, and we were at some auditorium in, I think, downtown LA shooting, and they were playing the track, and we were just playing along to it. But, it was fun because I was actually playing the notes for real, and I, matching the song, and, being up there kind of pretending to be a rock star or something for a little bit. I get to do that every now and then in my weird acting career. And also I got to know Tim Meadows a lot better on that show than I had on SNL, because, we passed so briefly on SNL, and he'd been there for so long. It's nothing unfriendly, but it wasn't until we did Walk Hard that it was like, oh yeah, I really like you. You're an awesome dude.
We play all the biggest names in soft rock and light jazz, folks like Enya, Yanni, Tesh. I don't know if you've heard of a little lady goes by the name of Miss Celine Dion.
No, who is that?
It's funny because you were in the Ladies Man movie too, and it's funny that you weren't really tight with Tim Meadows and you still popped up there.
Yeah, well, I think the way that happened, honestly, I don't know for sure, but there was a table read for the movie, and Will Ferrell, for some reason, some obligation, wasn't able to do it, and I filled in for Will, and it was a pretty big part, for the table read, and it went really well. And I think Tim and the writers really appreciated me stepping in for that, and then so they threw me, that part of that guy, which was really sweet.
Where have you guys been? Turbo Man's only the hottest selling Christmas toy ever. But you know what? We got plenty of Turbo Man's faithful saber-tooth tiger booster.
When you came to LA, you were in the Groundlings, and then you sort of had a run, sort of 96, 97. You were in Jingle All the Way. You were on Seinfeld. 2 episodes of Murphy Brown. Was that stuff you were auditioning for?
It all really came out of the Groundlings, Tony Sepulveda, who was directing me in the Sunday show at one point. So he brought me in to read for a part on the show Hope and Gloria. And And I got it, and it was great. And from that, got a manager, and these, and then ultimately an agent, and so that all led to these little guest star roles on sitcoms, and it was very validating because it's like, okay, you're not crazy to have moved to LA and tried to make it as an actor. You're actually making it, on a modest scale, and the Jingle All the Way, even came. I think that came even before I was in the Sunday Company, the Groundlings. That was one of my first big things, and I was, working at an FAO Schwartz toy store in the Beverly Center at the time when I got that, just completely by chance.
Excuse me, miss. Does this heart belong to you? Would you like it anyway?
Sadly, I'm actually not the box anymore. The box.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I had a very good run. I was very lucky. I'm sad that the box is no longer with us. It was fun to do, and they were so well written and so written to my voice, so it was really, it was a treat to do those.
The mighty Word Girl and the fearless Captain Huggy Face square off against 50 of Toby's giant robots.
And it's all riding on this moment where you decide whether or not you're going to be a grown, independent man or just a beaten little mama's boy.
One of the things I feel very lucky about as an actor is I get to do a pretty good variety of things, and so being able to do children's animation is just, part of that. I mean, it's a big part of it. I do occasional voices on Nature Cat. I did a voice on Elena of Avalor, and, and there are other things. I'm just starting a new series called Dogs in Space that is so far fantastic. My older son he likes Nature Cat, and so when he'll watch that and he'll hear me on it, he's like, "Is that you?" So that's sort of the first time that he's able to sort of hear what I do, if not see me, but he can hear what I'm doing, and that'll hopefully continue to be the case. And he'll be able to watch more stuff as he gets older, and that's a lot of fun.
You'll get recognized at children's birthday parties by confused children.
I do. Some of the neighborhood kids, their parents will tell me, she heard you, Paloma heard you on Nature Cat or Word Girl or whatever, so-and-so loves you on that, and they wanted me to tell you. And then they'll tell me now because they're old enough. They're all 6 or whatever, so, it's fun.